Hello everybody, welcome. We are here in Frenchtown, New Jersey at Artie's Bar and Grill. My guys Surrender to Eden are opening up for Jackal today. We are waiting right now for Jackal's sound guy to arrive so they could do their check and get ready for locals. I have a little surprise. Unbeknownst to me, I watched these guys on YouTube. These guys are Two Dudes Audio, and I've watched a bunch of their content, and I had no idea that these guys were here, let alone the guys I watch on YouTube. So your guys' names? Chaz and
Sean.
Chaz and Sean, Two Dudes Audio. Their links are in the description. All right, so these guys provided all the gear, including speakers, subs, snakes, what have you, for the show tonight. So I'll let you guys have the stage, no pun intended. Give a rundown of your stuff.
Yeah, so I got a backup QSC amp here. I got ad marks for the top and the bottom. They're 11,000 RMS at 1 ohm stable. Got the DBX drive rack. We got these black Lions that when we're running 15 amp services, we can use these. But these are going direct 20 amps each. And then we got front stage, which is like vocals, and we have monitor outs and main outs. We're not using these for this show, but these are in-ears,
right,
which have separate. Each of these are separate, and then I can just go right into here. We got the
so you have 8 independent mixes right here that you can do. Awesome.
Yep. And then this is side stage, so everything's labeled. And then we got a drummer digital stage box. Everything is linked through Ethercon. So link to there, link to here, and then number 3 is stage box here. Everything's labeled, so there's no miscommunication.
And this is your company, Sound Divisions LLC. Yes. So I'll find their website. I'll put it in the description.
Awesome. We also go by Lehigh Valley Sound Reinforcement.
Okay. And of course, check out their video content, Two Dudes Audio, on YouTube. Fun fact, I actually watched their video about the QSC column array speaker because I was looking to buy them. I knew these guys looked familiar. I had no idea they were the same people that did that video. So, small world that we live in here. So let's go over to mains.
So these QSCs are actually just put here because these are monitors, and they don't. The headliner doesn't need these monitors, so we have them off to the side, and then we'll swap them back in for the locals. We got 4 18-inch passive JBL VRX, and then we got 4 JBL VRX line arrays on each side. So there's 4 of everything on each side, all made to work together. We use the DBX drive rack to do the EQing and everything through the RTA mic, so everything's leveled correctly and everything's EQ'd out correctly. So there's not much for the board up front to really do.
Well, I heard your virtual sound check earlier and it sounded awesome, so I can't wait to hear like the bands actually play on this thing.
This is my little front of house world going on over here. This is connected to the DBX.
Hey, this is a good board. I think I have one of these.
Yes, this is it right here. Wing compact, super awesome, super small. Yeah, it's super easy the way that I have this set up. I just have a left and a right going out, going to that DBX drive rack, and then I can see everything that I'm doing here, crossover network.
This is all remote control to the amps on the stage?
Yep, it's all through Wi-Fi.
Nice.
Got compressor, the auto EQ, that's what it's showing us how it came out to be.
Oh boy.
Yep, and that's turned on. So we have all of that. We have some limiters here. Always want to add limiters to everything, compress, you don't want anything destroyed. Front fill is right here. I have that in the matrix, so this controls everything. That's already set, and I have obviously all the inputs are already labeled through the scribble strips here, and everything's labeled on all of the digital stage boxes.
So everything is basically essentially, for lack of a better term, 1-to-1. If you plug it in on kick channel 1 there, it's going to go there. Everything's properly labeled, so you know exactly where every XLR is supposed to go.
Zero miscommunications.
And you don't have to make emergency patches for that. So all the bands, like, this is what we got.
Yep, and there's technically there's 39. I use the one number 24 back here. I routed it for the board I/O that I can use just for talkback. But I have it labeled on there that you can't use it. But I mean, everything's touchscreen, super easy, giant screen. I do have a 13-inch iPad, which I can walk around if I wanted to, because you're going to get better point of view and sound stage when you're kind of in the middle. This is going to give us some weird reflections and stuff back here. So this is not 100% what the band
Right.
should
The best
sound
way
like.
to check it is like right in the middle of the floor,
Where
right
the
there.
crowd's gonna be.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's what you want to do. So have everything simple. Everything's routed through one Ethercon cable, so it's all just linked together.
One cable going from the back of the console is connecting everything on stage here.
You can see here actually all of the ones that I have connected. So you can click on this. It's going to show us all of these are connected through the drummer one. Then I have a side one that's for guitars. We got bass, DIs, backtracks, guitars.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? And then we got pretty much the front of house stage, which is for pretty much vocals. And then the outs, I have like monitor outs for like the front of stage, and the mains are the same as the front of stage for vocals. So everything's in the front, and then I have outs patched for the drummer for like monitors and stuff.
Yeah.
So I already have everything over here too for the outs for the monitor.
And how are you liking the Compact as a console? So, it looks like, because what I love most about this console is how customizable you can make every single show. Like this console can literally do almost anything you want as far as routing goes.
It's kind of limitless what you can do with this to a degree. For all the times that I've used it, it's not very complicated to do things like rerouting and stuff. It's not that complicated. I feel like the M32 and like the X32, you got this little monitor. You got to go through certain things to get.
And everything has like a set of like patches with like 1 through 8 has to be 1 through 8, blah blah blah. This you can literally do anything you want with it.
Yeah, and even with the channels, adding effects, it's right here. You can add your effects.
Switching the analog EQ and compressor models to whatever you want essentially is game changer level for me.
And I've did this for the last band. I added this bass monster, the sub monster for the kick for the bass guitar, and it brings these frequencies up a bit. Putting this in the mix a little bit brings like some low
like
end
deep
out.
low ends. Awesome.
That's very difficult to get out of maybe your
just standard EQ.
But what's cool is you can add a different EQ in here if you wanted to.
Right.
It's kind of like having a studio console that's designed for studio work as a live console. You know, it's kind of mixing both worlds, so you have a lot more control over what each instrument is going to do, even like the vocals. You know what I mean? That's kind of just the base EQ I have for that.
And I'm sure you've done this before with using the SD card or hooking up a laptop to your called multitrack. It saves everything, and not to mention the preamps on this thing sound so good.
Yep.
You can get studio quality recordings on this if you want to use this as a studio interface. Yeah, it sounds so good.
And you can get the full size if you wanted to deal with more faders. And
if you want a more traditional sends on fader stuff, but you can have the quick key commands right here too.
Yeah. So what's really cool is, if we go back to bass, right, and we want to adjust this, but you don't want to go like this and dealing with that, you can put effects spill. Now we have on the scribble strips what you're adjusting.
That's so cool.
It's so easy.
That's so cool.
It's with all of the effects. So all the effects you bring up, you can
see. I didn't know this trick. So like, I literally learn something every day about this board because it's so versatile.
Yeah, there's so much. I don't know everything that's in here because, and again,
there's entire channels dedicated to using this system, and it's just mind blowing how customizable this console is.
It's very customizable.
So Jackal has their own sound guy, and they're having their own system. They're basically giving you a stereo LR.
Yep.
So are you basically being a glorified master fader for them, or are you having any processing besides your PA EQ on it?
So everything's going through that DBX drive rack that goes to the amplifiers that obviously go to the speakers. He's giving me it at my digital stage box up there at 31 and 32, and I already kind of went in here a little bit. I'm kind of cutting here. Let me adjust this a bit. I'm kind of cutting out some of the low end, which I already. It's more of a mental thing for me. I already have that stuff cut out because around 30 hertz, you're more feeling that than hearing it, and you don't really want your subs bottoming out that easily. Yeah. And then we have a left and a right. So I didn't stereo link these or anything. I just did it real quick. So just a left and a right, and I just panned everything to a left and a right. So they have a true left and a right. I can go into home and go to name, and I could just do whatever Jackal left and right if I wanted to.
Right.
Oops. take that back out of here. But everything's in here. I can change all the colors. I can change, you know, the scribbles, everything.
It's so cool.
And all right, I want to tell you the best thing about this board. The best thing, the giant touchscreen. The giant touchscreen.
I had to come around on the giant touchscreen. I like the fact that it's there. I like the fact that it exists, but I am so anal with and old school with like knobs and stuff. I'm so not used to it.
You have them. You got this main one where you can do whatever.
What I love,
stuff with.
My favorite with my stereo delay, this lights up to be like the all-purpose effect button. So I set my tempo with that.
Okay.
A lot of people have the tempo thing right here. I just like to use this button.
I don't think the first original firmware with this came with tap effects at all. I think they added it with the second update,
right.
I believe. And something else which got me a little confused is the low cuts here, right?
Right.
It was like, okay, what are they doing?
What firmware you have on this? You have 3?
The one before the last one.
Okay, because I still have first edition 2 on that, because I heard nightmare stories when people updated to 3, it bricked their board, so I didn't even upgrade it yet.
I think I might be on 2.
Okay.
I didn't do it to the newest one, but what I was saying with this, you have to go to settings, and then you can do Paramagic or Shelf. It was default here, and I was having some issues with.
Okay.
But I just want to note that you can change it by the settings.
Nice.
I didn't know that's where that was.
Nice.
And then remember, always on.
Yeah, of course.
Something I was forgetting to do is like, you have to turn it on or it's not going to be there. And that's something you can easily forget to do.
Yeah, I forget all the time on this.
Yes.
But it like everyone that argues about gear and consoles, what sounds better, what's, you know, because me and Alan and Heath people always go back and forth in my comment section, but it really is down to what makes you comfortable. What makes you comfortable when you're using it. And for a setting like this, you have excellent speakers. You can put almost any board in here. Your ears are what's going to make the mix better than anything else on stage or front of house. So,
absolutely.
And it's a tool.
So a difference between my mix, my front of house mix is a little different. I try to, all right, so if I'm very confident with the band and how it sounds, I try to dip kind of all of the EQ for everything besides the vocal. I try to cut the high end out of literally everything besides the hi-hats.
Yeah, the overheads, yeah. That's what I do.
Just the hi-hats.
I low pass everything sometimes 10K up.
Sometimes the ride, but I try to also dip out everything around like the vocal region besides the vocals.
Yeah.
That will also help bring out everything vocal-wise. That will help bring out the vocals a bit. You also always have to remember you have to delay everything. So if we go to here, let's see where they have it on here. There's right here. So delays, because by the time that guy hits that kick drum, right, the kick out right here, there's going to be a delay, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to add a 13-foot. So from those subs, the front of the subs to the back of that beater has to be a certain feet. So there's a delay. When he hits that, it doesn't go boom to all the people in the front there. It will go. This will wait for that sound.
It'll just sound off
to come. So everything will be like that. If you see here, I'm going through everything. Everything.
All right, now I gotta make a mental note. 13 feet for when my guys get up there.
Your drum set's gonna be way closer.
So maybe
and
like
I have guitars. Everything direct will not have it.
Right.
Vocals will not have it. Guitars direct. Bass will not have it because bass actually yes if they're going through a bass amp.
Right.
So everything, like if I click bass, it's gonna say 10 because it's a little closer. Keys will mostly be direct. Sometimes they'll bring their little, like.
So cool.
Yeah. So, but that's one main thing that a lot of people don't do is having that delay, and all of it delayed will make a difference. If you take all the delay off and you hear it, there's going to be a slight delay with everything, literally everything.
Yep.
And of course, stage volume. You always want to keep stage volume down. If that guitar likes to have his guitar loud, just be like, listen, you gotta turn down. I will give you what you want.
Note to all of you guitar players out there: listen to this man.
Remember, if you want to be loud on stage, that is literally all you. The people in the audience will enjoy your guitar is going through the mains, so
Right.
everything's even. They're not hearing all the guitar on stage, and they're you know what I mean? It ruins everything. And it's not the front of house. The front of house engineer has nothing to do with that. So, yeah.
And this is all your company. How long have you been doing your own thing?
So started in about 2009. Started doing it. I didn't go to school for this. So I got pushed in. I started at Croc Rock in Allentown.
Right.
I got pushed in to do a tiny elite room
I've
for rap groups.
seen tons of shows at Croc Rock.
Analog everything, you know, tiny, you know, and then I went into a larger room, big, I think it was Allen and Heath, I forget what model it was, dealing with channels that were bad, snakes that were bad, community speakers that I had to replace, crossovers.
Trial by fire.
It was, you ended up with that board?
Yeah,
Oh my
it's in
God.
practice space.
Trial by fire, and you literally learned your chops quick, so that when everything does go smoothly, you're like, oh, this is easy. This is how it's supposed to be.
I've went through so many errors, and that's how you learn.
That's how you learn, by fucking up.
I've had people come and help me that went to school for this that had no idea. I had touring bands that had no idea what issues were, and I'm instantly, it's the acoustic guitar battery. That's why it's causing that. And they didn't believe me, right? They replaced it. Boom. That was the problem. I instantly knew it. But
It really is just
hands-on.
you have to be thrown to the wolves to do this, and you will fuck up, but if you persevere and you just and you accept the beatings early on, for lack of a better term,
I started with nothing. And
start from nothing, build your way up, and now you have your own business, you have your own YouTube channel, and you are literally running sound for, I'm assuming you do festivals too, big shows like this.
Yep, a lot of nationals.
And
Yep. And I
that
get called in.
entrepreneurial spirit, man, I just love it.
I mostly get called into places that have their gear already. A lot of M32s, a lot of X32s, lots of places have X32s. Super easy to use. They were cheap.
I mean, for the money,
They're
for the
out
money,
there.
bang for the buck value.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
tough to go with that.
Oh, something else I forgot to mention. My front fills, because of how spaced everything is, the
Right.
RCF HDL6, I think they are, or ADL, or I forget what they are.
I can see the comment right now. This guy doesn't even know his own gear.
Listen,
I see it coming right now.
I am mentally fatigued with everything that's happened. There's been a lot of setbacks, but front fills on its own matrix. It's, again, super easy, and I have that EQ'd out. I have all the low end.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier
And
off
a
camera
lot
that it's
of
a little sharp.
Yeah, the high end out of those are definitely pronounced very so. And
This is a really cool setup, man. And
Thank you.
Just from one wing user to another, I'm happy that to see other wing users. So I think Jackal is ready to get going with the sound
Yep.
check. So we'll let you guys do your thing, and then we'll be back for Surrender to Eden's sound check.
That's crunchy. Unplug it from the amp. Yeah, I lost all of it, so it's from the end of that out.
can up the low end if I want.
No, I'm just saying.
I think it sounds fine. So
Yeah.
if I'm barely using any of your amps, then we're good.
Yeah.
If anything, that's a good test of your amps.
Yeah.
One more. All right, guys, that's got to be the world's fastest breakdown I've ever seen. Sorry I didn't get anything during sound check. We literally just went up as is, and they did their thing. So unfortunately, Jackal took way more time than expected to do sound check, and then they sound checked the band that's on right now, and we really only had 10 minutes to get all of our stuff on stage, turned on, checked. So we only had time for 3 songs. So unfortunately, it is what it is. Headliners get to do whatever the fuck they want. This is their show. Just would appreciate that there's 4 other bands in front of them. Just would have been nice if they were a little more, wary of time. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
This next one is called Seek.
Lost in the